Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Dungeons and Drams. Tonight we have a full house. Once again, should be very fun. Let's do my favorite little activity, making everybody wonder if they're going to be the first one to be called on or not. And this time, I actually I'm going to pick. How about you, Jason? What do you got?
I don't want to. What is up, guys? I'm Jason C. from the Master and Drum. Tonight, I continue my quest with my amazing group as Alessio Morte. I had a little bit of a solo episode last week, which was highly entertaining, funny, and also scary a little bit, but did what I had to do. Tonight, I am sipping, and because it's National Bourbon Day, so cheers. Happy Bourbon Day, everybody.
Yay, bourbon.
Cheers.
And because in solidarity with my buddy Knobolas and his thunder nipples, I have opened a bottle I've been holding on to for a little while. This is one of the last few Knob Creek 15-year single barrel picks I have left. So,
Very
cheers
nice.
to the knob.
Nice.
Yes, speaking of the knob, how about you, Clifton?
Great intro. Yes, happy National Bourbon Day, everyone. I've been looking forward to this a lot because I have 3 bottles of Knob Creek in front of me as well. I'm starting with a single barrel pick. This is the Mash Made in Heaven. This was Chad and Sarah from It's Bourbonite. This was from, I think it was for their wedding originally. I don't know, but it was one of their earliest picks that they did.
That was a great pick they did. Yeah.
So I'm starting with that one, but I have another 15-year and then the 12-year-old as well. So it's going to be full of knob tonight. But speaking of full of knob, I play the character of Knobolas, who is a half-elf warlock who is starting to notice some things from his past re-entering his life, and he's not very happy about them. So that's it.
Indeed. So let's go to Molly. Hi, Molly. Welcome.
Hello. Good to be back tonight. I'm Molly from Hugging the Cactus. I play Daffy Sage Blossom, who is a wood elf paladin. I don't know. Words are hard.
Wood elf pangolin.
That's exactly it.
She's got cute little arms.
He's so cute. Yeah.
Happy Bourbon Day, everyone. I am sadly not partaking, but I've got a beer of the Diet Root variety. So I'll cheers you all with that. I know. You were like, she's drinking?
We're going to make you drink one of these. No, it's fine.
I will not succumb to peer pressure, especially after the last week in New Orleans.
We shall see.
Fair.
Molly and I are hanging out on Friday night, so there will definitely be some drinking that night, I'm sure. So we'll see.
Shots.
Shots. Sounds good. All right.
I don't know. I mean, Molly may not drink whiskey, but man, all these stories, she gets crunk.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I don't know. We gotta.
But
These
not-
stories of
Not on live
tequila
YouTube.
You know what I need to
I know
do?
that
Try it
wine
sometime.
bottle.
It's great.
That wine bottle
tequila
last time.
and tequila and shot.
You know what I
More
need to do?
tequila, more shots, and then beer of the Diet Root persuasion. I don't know what to think.
And then mix them all together.
I need to start bringing Molly to the brink of death every session, so she's just nervous and has to drink. So.
No.
Speaking
No.
of, I don't have a good segue. Ed, hi.
Speaking of nervous and weird, that's me. Hey, I'm Ed, and I'm playing Agnomeio, aka Noro, the gnome with the unintelligible accent. Sometimes it's French, sometimes it's Spanish, sometimes it's Russian. It depends on how much I've had to drink.
Well, none of those countries
And,
exist
I
in
am
this
drinking,
world. So.
because it's National Bourbon Day, I am drinking one of my favorite bourbons ever, Kilhoman.
Is that the?
No, I love Kilhoman, but boo.
It's the Kilhoman PX Sherry Cask.
Yes.
Oh, it's
I
a
love
sherry.
that. I love that
All right,
Kilhoman.
never
I
mind.
love that
figured it was
Kilhoman
the
American whiskey.
Yeah, Kilhoman Isla single bourbon.
Yeah.
I thought for sure you were gonna pull up the Macker Bay and be like, it's mostly bourbon, bourbon cask. So awesome. I guess for me, I'm also drinking Knob Creek because also it's just fun to all drink the same stuff when we have the opportunity, and with the collections we all have, it happens frequently. But one thing I do want to mention, I don't have it in the description right now, but after the stream is over, I will be adding to the description. Molly was on a podcast this week, and just for fun, I'm going to link over to that. So if you're interested in either type 1 diabetes or learning more about Molly, or just having giving some traffic to what's the name of the podcast, Molly? Forget.
This is type 1.
This is type 1. Awesome. So, then check it out. Let's go into the recap here. So, you guys all ready to go?
Yeah.
Ready.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's
All
knob it up, PM. Here we go.
Alrighty. When last we left our heroes, they had spent a bit of the day wandering around Aluith Harbor, tying up loose ends and generally killing time until the next day's pig-related festivities. They visited Sindil Trueshot, the head of this chapter of the Fang and Feather. They helped Skyla retrieve the stone from her lost earring, which was, unbeknownst to her, the missing eye of a snake statue. Then, feeling they had done enough good for the day, they proceeded to commit a breaking and entering on the Red Sun Inn. Strangely enough, they got in. They saw that, despite signage saying otherwise, the Red Sun Inn was not currently being cleaned or repaired, and oddly enough, the dead body that Knobolas had passed by only a couple of days before was still there. After some searching, they found a note that says, "Find Knobolas and shower in riches," signed by someone named Sulgradan. We rejoin our party on their way to the Temple of Uros, to speak once again with Gonathan, a cleric of Uros, god of storms. So you guys are standing up front of the temple.
All right, so we saw the creepy rune back at the tavern, so let's, I guess we're going in there. We got to go talk to what's-his-face about, what if he knows anything about it, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. He was trustworthy
we're gonna
before,
see.
so...
All right, so
All
we're
right.
all going to walk in all four simultaneously.
Yeah, just step through across the threshold.
Step in.
right.
We are here.
Stompy boots.
We are
Cool.
here.
And like in slow motion somehow, just
All right, so you enter the Temple of Uros and see Gonathan at the altar, still dressed in his battle attire. However, this time he's wearing a garish helmet. Also blue, but rather than bolts of lightning etched into it like the rest of his armor, the faceplate has bolts covering the sides of his face. His voice booms across the temple with an otherworldly volume and energy. He appears to be giving an impassioned sermon. Uros, Lord of the Tempest, we are but humble servants to the ebb and flow of your tides. Let us read of Corey's Vrecken from the Book of Fathoms. One day, a captain named Corey was sailing a crew of 100 passengers between Lithuan and Avera when a storm appeared overhead. As the storm got worse, lightning crackled and rain and hail pummeled the deck of the ship. The sailor looked around for land. He prayed to Turasil for land and safe harbor. An enormous whirlpool appeared below the ship, and it fell as if the water were not there at all. As the ship fell, a hand emerged from the water and plucked Corey from the deck. Corey could only watch as his ship, the Vrecken, shattered on the ocean floor. Then Uros spoke to him. You seek salvation on land, yet you are on my ocean. You ask for help from the betrayer Turasil, who rose the land for my domain, yet I am the only one who spared you. I have spared your life so you may tell your brethren of your hubris and what it means to disrespect me in my own ocean. And this whirlpool will remain here forever as a sign of my power and your blasphemy. Gonathan looks up from the book and begins wading through the water. The lesson of the story is twofold. First is that we must pray and give thanks to Uros for safe passage whenever we cross the ocean. But second is a little more subtle. I believe Uros is trying to teach us to look where we are for help in trying times. Look to your neighbors, your friends, not to politicians and so-called saviors, who we know of only by name. And with that, I want to wish you all safe travels. Praise be to Uros. And the crowd responds in kind. Praise be to Uros.
praise be to Rose.
And the people begin kind of filtering out of the temple.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
All right.
Are there donuts in the basement and coffee?
Roll for donuts? I don't know. roll for snacks.
Roll for snacks.
All right. What would you like to do?
Well, since his sermon is done, guys, you want to go approach Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get a little closer. I don't want to go in that water again because then
No.
weird lightning people show up.
Yeah, let's respect the sanctity of the water bath.
Yeah, respect this pool.
We only need that pool when we're resurrecting Twerk Brand.
Right.
That's right. Good old Twerkney.
So Gonathan sees you coming. Obviously, you're walking down the middle of his temple here, and he walks barefoot again out of the water over to you, and he says, "Hello, friends. What can I do for you?"
Great sermon, Padre. Very moving.
Thank you. Uros speaks through me.
Blessed be Rose. Anyway, we were recently over at the Red Sun Inn, and we found something. I would say very disturbing, of a spiritual nature. Father, what do you know about the demonic?
I mean, as much as any cleric has to study, but I focus more on problems of this world. You imagine being in a harbor, we have many people of all types come through here, and part of my job to protect them, also part of my job to keep the ships safe. So what did you see? What can I do to help?
Well, you know, a couple of days ago, those weird, stinky demon cows attacked.
Yes.
You saw that over there, and we fought them. We were very heroic. You should thank us, but it's okay. But point being, Knobolas, there was a summoning circle. You're a warlock. You know about this. There was a summoning circle, right? Was that what it was? But we found one of those in the Red Sun Inn. And now they have closed it, and they left a body. They left a body in there, and we found it. Father, what is going on?
He looks at Knobolas and he says, what did this look like?
I mean,
the actual rune, what did it look like?
The actual rune, yes.
I think I wasn't in the room when it was discovered. I think that was Agnomeio that found that one. So I didn't see it close. I knew it was like a pentagram shape, but
Pentagram shape. It was glowing red, I believe.
Yes.
Looks rather ominous.
Yeah, a little ominous. Does it have something to do possibly with Uros?
Definitely would be strange. Uros can work in strange ways, but he doesn't typically deal with demons. Or runes, for that matter. Can you... Hold on one second. And he looks at you, Knobolas, and he says, do you mind if I detect... may I cast a spell? Will you be all right with that?
Depends what the spell is, Your Honor, your Father.
I like your father.
It's actually it's customary to refer to clerics of Uros as daddy. So
Okay.
No.
Yes, Daddy.
Oh my God!
Oh
my God.
Daddy, chill. All right. Anyway, sorry. All right.
Anyways, could you tell me why you would like to cast a spell?
He wants to. He says, "I'd like to see if there's anything demonic about your person."
Oh.
Sure, go for it.
I get that checked out right away there, Knobolas.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So he reaches forward with his hand. His finger is about 3 inches from your face, and his eyes instantly snap to white as he stares right into yours. He says, "You have something on you that's been tainted by fiendish energy, something small and unsuspecting."
His cock?
Yeah. It was too easy. Ed. I expect more from you.
I'm sorry. I'll work on it. They can't all be winners.
That's fair. All right. He says, emanating from your bag. Emanating from your bag.
From my bag. Oh. I mean, I have a key.
Let me see it.
Okay, so I'll pull out the key and hold it in my hand and show it to him.
That's definitely what I'm seeing. He says you can actually, it's funny, like his eyes are white, but you can actually see a slight reflection of red glinting through his eyes, pointing at the key, almost as if demonic energy is reflecting back through his eyes. And he says, "Give it to me."
And I look around the room and I look back at my friends and see if they are agreeing with this decision.
Jason
What do you
needs to
guys
drink less. Or more. All right.
Jason started laughing, and then I was like, "Oh, okay. Like I'm not the only one who went there."
I know, Molly. We were right here, Molly.
I must have missed it.
I have no idea.
It's okay.
All right, yeah.
All right, so
I would give him the shit out of that key. Get it out of your person.
Out of
Okay.
your
So
person.
do you hand him the key?
Where am I pointing this key from, guys?
This is. Are you giving him the key?
I give him the key. Yes.
Okay. All right. So you hand over the key, and he kind of looks it over just in his hand, and he thanks you, and he says, "All right, now take me to the body."
Oh,
Fair enough.
Okay.
all right.
Yeah,
All right. So Daffy, make an insight check for me.
Oh, okay.
All right,
First
first roll
roll of
tonight.
the nuts.
Here it comes.
I feel like this is gonna set the tone for the evening, so I'm a little
Well,
afraid.
We'll see.
if things go as they usually go, this is going to be an awesome roll until we get into battle.
True.
And I'm sorry, Bill. You said insight.
Insight, please. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Should be. Okay, there we go.
7. Okay.
7.
7.
So nothing. You have a bit of a strange feeling coming from this guy, like almost like you feeling unwelcome. But that's about it, and it could just be your own personal feelings. So, are you heading to the Red Sun Inn, or is there something else that you guys would like to do on the way?
No, let's just take him to the Red Sun into the body.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, as you head to the Red Sun Inn, where did this go? People are practically flocking to Gonathan. Wonderful sermon today, Gonathan. Praise be to Uros. And he responds back, praise be to Uros. And Gonathan walks over to the nearest guard, and he talks with them for just a moment. You kind of overhear. He says, I have official business. I'm going to be entering the Red Sun Inn. I'm investigating something interesting. And of course the guards are interested, but they know better than to question Gonathan. So they move out of his way, and he walks up to the front door, and he opens the door. So let me ask you guys, first off, are you entering with him?
I think
Or
so.
you-
I think I'm really curious to see what I don't want him to run off with this key, so I'm keeping a close eye on him.
Yeah, I feel like we're letting him enter first, but we're kind of all like, let's just
Yeah.
stay behind him and let's just let him do what he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some shady shit might be going down. So
Yeah.
I trust him implicitly.
Okay. So
All right.
so as right before he opens the door, he looks to you and he says, "This body that you speak of, was it an older man?" Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, we have reason to believe it was the innkeeper, I believe. I think we were talking to someone and he told us that man has gone missing, or he's died.
Yeah, Clarence Rowley. He hasn't been seen since that morning when the, I guess, invasion, I would call it. So I would suspect that's him, but we'll need to go inside and consecrate the body, especially if there's demons around. Otherwise, he could very well be in hell right now, and we're
jeez.
taking our time. So,
Oh
my God.
my God.
he pushes inside, and you guys said that you're following him. Can you let me know who's going first, who's going last? Which order would you like to go in?
I feel like Knobolas is sticking real close to him, so I think Knobolas would like to go in first.
Okay.
I'll follow behind Knobolas.
Okay.
I'll once you go third, I'll stick in the rear and watch our backs.
Is that cool with you, Daffy?
Yep. I held up my fingers for 3. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the screen. All right.
Me, my lord. Pick me, my lord.
All right. So let's go ahead and this should have preloaded by now. You enter and shut the door behind you, but you notice a dragging sound, the shuffling of feet, and inside you see multiple creatures.
Oh,
Oh God.
And
Not again.
Where did these guys come from?
not again.
Lovely.
All right. Near you, you see 3 foot tall, corpulent, pale, and hairless demons walking around. Their bodies barely being held together by skin stretched too tight, covered in maggots that appear to be feeding on them. You also see a dretch in the far corner near the stairs, in the top right. And 2 small red demons holding a chain and laughing to themselves. Everybody notices you enter the room, and now you must roll initiative.
Yep, that makes sense.
Great.
All right.
Oh god!
So
it's
give
like
me
we're fighting a bunch of Mexican hairless dogs.
give me just a sec before you roll initiative. Give me just a sec to add you all to the turn order, because otherwise I won't capture.
I was thinking more naked mole rat.
Oh
But
yeah,
they're
that's
probably a
good
lot
one,
bigger
too,
than that.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or one of those like weird Sphinx kitties, but like with the fat belly.
God,
All right, go.
that thing. If you zoom in on it, it's like half zombie, half Jabba the Hutt. Oh my god, it's terrible.
Gross.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
All right, go ahead and roll initiative if you haven't already.
I got a 14.
I got 19.
All right.
I got a 19.17.
Oh, I'm 19.16.
19.14.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
All right. Excellent. So I did kind of put you all in. You can. I'm going to try something a little different now, just because a lot of times I'm going to be dropping you guys on battle maps. So at any given time, wherever I drop you, you can start about within 10 feet of where I've put you. So if you find that a spot is a little bit more advantageous, we'll call it kind of that first couple seconds of the fight. You're kind of getting prepared and getting where you want.
okay.
And then once you're all set, let me know, and we will begin combat with Alessio.
All right, I'm set.
All right. Well, all right. Oh yeah, we got the music going. This is awesome. Okay.
Well, the chat says they don't hear the music, but
Yeah, I think I'll probably just add it in post if they can't hear it. I don't want to
Sounds
fiddle
good.
with it because too often it gets way too loud.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Cool.
I'm gonna. Yeah, these things are just hanging out here. I think I just want to start an attack first. I'm going to attack this guy here on my left.
Okay.
The one right in front of Knobolas, and the one that's just to the immediate left of Jonathan.
Mhm.
So I'm going to use my short bow at first and see what a long range attack will do.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll for attack. All right. That definitely hits, and you do 8 damage to him. Excellent. So you shoot, and actually what you see is that skin that was held a little too tight erupts, and a bunch of maggots fall to the floor. He's still standing, but he is
hell
barely
no.
holding on. He's already extremely hurt.
Oh wow.
wow.
Okay.
All right.
right.
Anything else?
No, I think I'm gonna hold fast.
All right, Knobolas, you're up.
All right, well, it sounds like that guy's pretty weak, so I might as well go ahead and finish him off. So I'd like to Eldritch Blast him.
All right, so go for it.
Oh,
Whoa.
Oh, the natural 1.
Oh.
So your nipples do not ring true and actually shoot past his head. However, with this natural 1, so your Eldritch Blast launches through into the kitchen, right through that doorway, and hits the wine barrel, and it starts leaking.
No.
How horrible.
So we'll see how that affects things going forward.
Oh, great.
So
Well, I'm not going to risky whiskey this early. I'm just going to let that happen, and let what's done is done. So I'll just hang my head in my turn in shame.
free wine.
all right. So up next
The
is
5-second rule.
Daphne.
Okay. In keeping with what everyone else is doing, I think I also want to try attacking from a distance. Hopefully actually hitting this guy that we've already damaged. So let's give it a shot with my crossbow.
All right. So you're aiming for the guy on the left again?
Yep,
All right.
the guy on the left.
Excellent.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Let's see.
All right.
That did something.
So a 19 definitely hits. So you said you crossbow?
Yep.
All right. So you shoot your crossbow and again tear right through the skin, and this thing's body, again being kind of just barely held on, its skin rips and its entire flesh just kind of falls to the floor, and all of its innards and guts fall all over the floor. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Smells wonderful.
Ugh.
So, and he is
Great.
dead.
Oh, good.
Oh, got him.
All right. So, anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
All right. Ooh, that's the button I was looking for. Alrighty. Up next is one of these little red demons in the back. So, the one actually sitting right on top of the wine barrel, which you guys kind of can't see. So he's going to jump down and kind of run towards you. And he's going to...
Oh, that's what I was aiming for. I wasn't aiming for the other thing. I was totally trying to hit him.
Likely story, Thunder Nipple.
So he's going to stand right in the doorway, and he's going to look at you, Knobolas, since, you shot at him, whether you meant to or not. And he's actually going to... he's going to say to you, you want some dating advice? Never ever date a demon. They're way too possessive. And he's going to cast Tasha's hideous laughter at you. So,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
Oh my god. Roll better.
Please. Okay, this might be my risky whiskey moment. You said a saving throw or ability check?
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Oh,
very nice.
15.
All right. So you hear his joke, don't find it all that funny, and you feel like maybe like a little laugh coming up, but you push it down. You're like, stupid demon. All right. So that does not land. And then he's going to use his last bit of movement to move back behind this wall here. All right. Up next is Agnomeio.
all right. Well, you know what? I have not gotten to use my new weep quite enough, so I'm going to weep the guy right in front of me.
Excellent.
With my weep.
With your weep.
All right. I got a 14. Not that great.
A 14 hits.
Oh,
Nice.
all right.
So-
Nice.
So you need to tell me whether you'd like to use the additional damage on like you're kind of, I think it's a once a day you're able to do that.
Yeah, it's a grapple. Yeah, I'm gonna do the grapple because I want to just tie that guy down so we can go deal with these other weirdos.
Okay.
Making bad jokes is my thing. Come on.
Well, so real quick, just because this is the first time that you've used this weapon, so the
Sorry, Bill, is he using
Yes.
his magic whip? Because he gave the magic
Yes.
whip away. I remember that last episode.
no, he
No,
gave
no,
the regular.
I gave my
one.
regular whip.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Guys, they were confused. I was confused too. Cool.
Okay, so your normal damage actually would have killed this guy.
Well,
The thing I was asking, you have a secondary action on that whip where it makes little barbs that can do an additional bit of damage. That's what that 2 is, the piercing.
oh yeah.
So before I tell you what happens in the future, like say whether you want to use that piercing damage or not as your thing.
Okay.
But I'll save you the restrained thing. But either way, so you whip the crap out of him, and the sonic boom erupting from the end of the whip liquefies his everything, and he is dead.
Just puddles.
These guys just erupt with very little damage.
That is super gross.
Awesome. Anything else?
No, that'll be it for now.
All right, excellent. All right, so
I smell dead people.
up next is the Dretch. So he is going to move 1, 2, 3. He's going to jump up on top of this table here.
Where is this dredge? I'm not seeing a
Oh,
dredge.
he's
on the table on the right.
yeah, he's a little
Okay, you can see
up
him.
and to the right. Yep.
Okay,
Excuse
gotcha.
me. So he is going to jump up onto that table, and actually that's all he's going to do. He's staring at you. All right, up next would have been one of my fatty boys, but instead it is another one of these little red devils. They're called cacklers. And he is going to run... Actually, he's going to stay right where he is. He's up on top of... I guess you guys can't see him, but he's right up on top of one of the animal heads in the far side of the room. And he is going to look at you and say... let's see, he's going to look at Agnomeio, being the closest. He's going to say, "How do you keep demons away? You exercise regularly." Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. I like these.
I like the dad jokes.
Let's add them to our party.
Oh no!
You have no wisdom.
That is the funniest shit you've ever heard. Oh, go ahead if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
Try it again. Come on, baby. Oh, there we go. Wait.
So, just as you feel yourself starting to crack up, you I don't know, you think of something sad, and you recover. So the hideous laughter does not work on you, and you are safe for the moment. Up next is Gonathan. Gonathan is going to. Let's see. He's going to rush at this demon, the dog here, and I think roughly about there. Can't quite get there yet, but he is going to... Sorry. He's going to cast... nothing, actually. He's gonna just kind of wait. He's on his way to the monster. All right. Up next... Before Alessio gets his turn, let me hiding all my stuff, of course. All right, so a rune appears in the center of the room.
Oh, what the hell?
You feel the air within the room get extremely hot. This seems to be a portal just opened right in the middle of the room, and the airflow just starting to burn. And something's gonna happen. Alessio, you're up.
What the hell, dude? Something's gonna happen. Alessio, you're up.
I mean, one could assume. I don't want to, telegraph too much.
One could assume. All right. What do I want to do here? So there's a friggin' symbol of the gods coming down in the middle of the room. You have Mr. Dad Joke over there by the wall. And then you have Werewolf Bob over there on the table. All right, so this is what I want to do. I want to use Misty Step to actually go all the way to the right wall and get behind Mr. Werewolf Bob.
All right.
So I'm going to use Misty Step. Let's see here. So how do I use it? I just gotta do roll.
So it's just kind of an ability that you have once per day, I believe. So you basically just tell me that you're going to use it, and then you see how it has the 0 and the 1 there. In the future, that would be 1 and 1, but you haven't used it yet. I think it's just not set up. Either way, you are using Misty Step. Why don't you tell me how this looks for Alessio? So typically it's you are surrounded by silvery mist and you teleport, but is there any specific flavor that Alessio has as part of his?
Like what the mist looks like?
Yeah, like Knobolas shoots lasers out of his nipples. What's your Misty Step look like?
Well, the Misty Step basically emerges from basically the bottom up from the ground. So I say Misty Step, and all of a sudden a grayish black dust comes from the bottom and comes up and just surrounds me, almost like a little mini tornado, and I'm kind of just inside of it. And
awesome.
It whips me across the room to where I need to go, which is all the way on the right side of the wall, on the other side of Mr. Werewolf Face.
Okay. So you can go ahead and put yourself there. Awesome. I love it.
As the tornado passes me, I say, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Yeah. So I get over here. So I get over here because Alessio is a rogue. He likes to get a nice view of the room and what's happening. So I have a view of Mr. Werewolf. I have a view of Mr. Funnyman, Banshee, Devil, whatever on the head over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to attack Mr. Werewolf Face right here.
Okay. Are you using your crossbow or? Oh, ooh, look at that. That's fancy. I don't know if everybody.
What did I just do?
I don't. I'm not entirely. I think your Misty Step finally worked
again. I think you Misty Stepped twice.
Oh,
okay.
That's why you had a circle around you, because it was trying to show you kind of where you can go.
Oh, got it. Okay,
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that
All
was
right.
a fancy. That was a fancy Misty Step.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That is cool.
All right, so I'm gonna take out my short bow again.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna give you advantage on this attack because you basically were hidden and now you're attacking. So you could either well, actually, your attack. Let's see, your attack was an 11. Which does hit, so you can actually do your attack and then roll sneak attack damage because you would have had advantage on this. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
All right, so do so
you could roll another attack if you want to, but let's just
roll
hit.
Another
so it's
short
fine.
bow. All right, I roll another short bow.
That works, just in case you crit. I didn't want to cut you short. All right,
got it.
So you do 20. So 21 to hit for 8 damage. So you do 8 damage, and then if you'd like to, you can roll sneak attack.
Okay. Where is sneak attack?
Under your features, I think. All right. While you're finding that, let's just.
I got it. Sneak attack. Here it comes. Sneak attack. Roll.
Oof. You got all kinds of dice now. So I'm not sure why you have so much, but I think it's just because you leveled up. So yeah, it sure does. All right, so 7 plus 5, so 12 extra damage. So I'll do. So that was actually enough. So you shoot it right up his dretch, and he falls dead. Actually, that was a good hit.
Alessio's got the moves, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think dretches are just so uncouth and unliked that the word for Tookus in this world is just dretch.
I completely think so.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it. I think I did a lot of stuff.
Nice. All right. So, Knobolas, you're up.
All right, and remind me, the little cacklers, there were 2 of them, right? One of them was the one that said its thing to me, and the other one was talking to someone else, right?
Correct. So there's one over in the kitchen area, and then one in the up to the right.
You know, I'm gonna seek vengeance towards the that said the dating joke to me. So I'm gonna move a little closer. So let me get like. Okay.
So he's actually.
I'm gonna just move closer to.
Okay. I was gonna say, despite you can technically see him on the map, he's actually behind cover at the moment. So if you were to shoot him without moving, you wouldn't be able to. So just consider.
Oh, no, I'm planning to move. I wasn't planning to shoot him.
Okay. Sorry. Shouldn't have interrupted you. I think you were saying that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. All right, so let me just, sorry, I lost where I was going to go. So I'm going to step around this, like, this little puddle of blood.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to just, I marked myself, so it leads me to right here. And then I still can't see him, but I think I'm good to end my turn at this point.
Okay. All right. Up next is Daffy.
Okay. I think I would like to move up a little bit, but not too far. So about 15 feet here. If I can move my token. Why is it not?
Are you still on the measure? You might need to put the other one.
You are. You have to.
It's still on the measure,
right, so you're
but
trying to go up
I'm
here?
unclicking it, and it's just not. Yeah, thank you. And I think just the party members that are within 30 feet of me, so I think that would be Agnomeio and Knobolas. I'm just going to use Bless on them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel blessed.
You're welcome.
Yep. So Gonathan's actually just out of range.
So cast that.
All right. So you cast Bless. So I will add Bless to these guys. All right. Anything else?
That's my turn. But look at that. Ooh, mystical.
Bless up.
Sorry, I just got distracted by the magic around my token.
That's very pretty.
Oh, that's flying. Never mind. If you right click on yourselves, guys, do you see a little icon that looks like a person with little barbs around them? Assign a status effect.
Yes.
See if you can find bless on there just to save me the time. Thanks.
Oh, they're so little.
I know, they're super tiny. There's a mod to fix that, and I haven't found it yet. So anyway, all right. Up next is the cackler that is behind the wall with you there, Knobolas. So he's actually going to run out. He's going to move just a little bit. And he is going to use his spiked chain on you from 10 feet away. So let's see what he does. So does a... Way too many windows. Does an 18 hit you?
Yes, it hits me.
All right, so he hits you for 9 damage with his spiked chain. So.
Damn. Ufa male.
I thought these guys were just like all talk. I didn't know they like could kill me.
And then he's gonna duck back behind the wall here. All right. Up next is Agnomeio.
Yes. All right. Well, I don't actually know where the other cackler is, but I'm going to run in his general direction, and I'm going to jump up on this table, because Agnomeio never misses a chance to jump up on furniture when it is socially acceptable. There he is. All right, and then I'm going to run over to just past this other table.
All
and
right.
fire a crossbow bolt at him, like from behind the table, like pew, like some John Woo shit.
Perfect. All right, so go ahead.
I got a 10.
A 10 does not hit. The crossbow bolt actually goes into the mouth of the boar's head that he's sitting on at the moment. It's a hell of a shot if you were hunting boar. All right. Up next. Sorry, was that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right. So, up next is the cackler, the one that you just shot at. So he's actually going to launch a firebolt at you, Agnomeio. However, I would say that you have half cover because you're behind the table, so you'll have an extra +2 to your AC.
I dig it.
So he is going to cast firebolt. Firebolt. And it doesn't matter because it was an 8. All right, so he launches firebolt, and it lands on the table, and the table actually starts to kind of glow a little bit, like embers. It's maybe catching on fire, maybe not. We'll see.
Oh boy.
All right, up next is Gonathan. And he looks at the now dead Dretch that Alessio came out of nowhere and killed. And he kind of nods at you. He says, "That was great." And then he also jumps on the table and he starts running over towards the cackler, but doesn't quite make it. However, this time he is going to cast a spell. So he is going to... He's actually going to cast, let's say, Gust of Wind. So he's going to cast Gust of Wind at this cackler up on the thing. Let me actually make this so it'll be a public roll, because that's more fun. All right, his attempt is to knock this thing off and to kind of pin it to the wall here. All right. Sorry, there's like a lot of stuff here. So it needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw. And it's going to roll a 17 or 16. So although it is kind of pinned, it doesn't fall off the boar's head, but it's like can't see. It's kind of it's definitely preoccupied by this thing. And Gonathan's just standing there, wind blowing out of his hand. All right, he's going to continue to do that. So at the top of the round, the sigil on the ground begins to glow a little brighter, and it gets almost unbearably hot in the room as 3 new people enter the fray. So
what the hell?
They are still shaking off the fact that they were just summoned, so they're going to stand there for a moment. And Alessio, you are up.
Oh. All right. So you're going to drop some more music? I need the music.
It should be going.
Oh, I don't hear it. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to fiddle. We've learned our lesson.
No fiddling. No violin in this stream.
All right. All right. So, man, those guys are back in the middle of the room. Okay, well, Daffy's over there, and so is Knobolas. So I'll leave those to them. I want to focus my attention on Mr. Happy Face over there.
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm trying to use some of his great these new skills that Alessio has acquired.
Okay.
I want to use Silent Image.
Okay.
Ooh.
What I would like to do is use Silent Image to distract all of the enemies within the room.
All right, so you create an image of an object creature.
Silent Image creates an image of an object, a creature, or some other visible phenomenon that is no larger than a 15-foot cube.
Yep. So it has a sound, smell, or other sensory. Okay, so what are you making?
So I'm going to make a. I think out of let's see here. I think I want to make another something that looks like Jonathan.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that sounds great. Where would you like to put it? Just ping on the map. You can use X to ping.
So I'm going to put it right about here to kind of guide everyone's attention, the enemies, to this side, which will be out of the way. So this way, Agnomeio and Knobolas, and Daffy can kind of be behind them as they get drawn to another Jonathan. Hopefully, they get a little bit confused.
Okay, so your hope is for this new guys that showed up to maybe go after him.
Exactly.
Got it. Cool. Awesome. Great. Love it. All right. Anything else?
Can I do an attack as well, or is that my move?
I would imagine Silent Image is an action. It is an action. So you could still move if you'd like, but you can't attack.
Yeah. I'm going to move a little bit closer up to where Mr. Happy Pants is to maybe try to get behind him a little bit if he tries to attack both Jonathans.
Okay. Great. Just a word of advice, if you'd like. If you move up one more space, then you could potentially use that stairwell as cover, but that's completely up to you. Just use your environment. I love that Agnomeio jumped on a table.
Oh yeah, I'll get on the side. I'll get a little bit above them. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. You have the high ground. All right.
I have the high ground, exactly.
All right. So Knobolas, as your turn's about to start, you notice that the wine is actually starting to now kind of come out of the kitchen there. It's starting to head towards you. That's it. No, it's no big deal. It's just, the wine is leaking.
Free samples? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so, well, I was originally distracted by this creature and the wine flowing out of the room, but I got to take care of some of these skin bags. So I think I would like to, I'm going to step a little bit away from the wine because I have a habit of putting my feet where they shouldn't go and getting things attacking me in the future. So I'm going to step back a little bit. And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast this skin monster right here.
The closest one to you?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right, so actually just perfect. You obliterate him with a single Eldritch Blast. They have 9 hit points. So nice. You fry his skin. It smells like burnt skin in this room now. And mixed with the heat coming off the sigil, it is just ugh. That and the guts on the floor. It's not pleasant in here anymore. All right. Anything else?
No, I just wanted to use I forget what it's called. Sorry, I'm trying to find the feature. I don't know if I have to announce that or whatever, but I'm just gonna.
Oh, when you kill something? No, you don't have to announce it. Just take care of it.
Okay, cool. Then I'll end my turn then.
Cool. All right, so Daffy, you are up.
I'm gonna approach this one right here. I don't know if you can see my target. And
yes. Yep.
Awesome. Gonna walk right up to him and stab him with the short sword.
Fantastic. All right, go for it.
Maybe.
An 11.
Does that hit?
It does hit, just barely.
Ooh.
Yeah.
10 damage.
Nice. So he kind of appears from the sigil and immediately takes a short sword to the head. He is now bleeding and quite stinky. Everything here smells bad. Wasn't on purpose, but it kind of just is. All right, anything else?
That's my turn.
All right. Up next is the cackler up that's being pinned by Gonathan. Well, actually, he's not being pinned by Gonathan, but he's quite uncomfortable, and his hair's blowing in the wind. He is going to try to hit Gonathan with a firebolt because that's just plain annoying. All right, so
Which Gonathan?
that's actually, funny. That's a very good point. Wouldn't matter because he wouldn't hit either one, but just for posterity / roll 1d2 because his eyes would have kind of been preoccupied. The proper Gonathan. Okay, either way, he would have launched it at the Gonathan Prime and missed. All right, but he is not liking what's going on right now. He's starting to get kind of trapped. So he is going to make a move to, let's say he's going to go over here, just on the left side of the, there. All right.
Right into my hands.
Well, correct. Yeah, so if you want to picture these stairs, the part that you're on is the bottom of the stairs, and the part next to him is the top of the stairs. So there actually is kind of an L-shaped thing. Like where you are right now, you could probably just barely see his foot or like a little bit of his body. All right. Because it's like a stairwell. All right, awesome. Anomio, you're up.
So just to make sure I understand, Jonathan hit him with the wind, and he ran away. He was getting pinned against the wall. He ran away.
So he didn't actually get hit by the attack. It was just flavor. Like he was like, this is annoying, and he.
Oh, okay.
So
okay, got it. So is his name Scarlett O'Hara? Because he's gone with the wind.
They're getting better, Ed. They're getting better.
Where's my wisdom saving throw?
All right, I am going to not go right next to that zombie man, the weird dead baby man. I'm going to stand 10 feet back because this cape is dry clean only, and I'm going to once again hit him with my weed.
All right, go for it.
Oh, only a 9.
Oh man, and you rolled max damage on both.
I know, I rolled the best damage possible.
Fantastic.
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
so the whip does not hit. It just maybe you're not quite so used to whipping with a vine. All right.
Yeah.
Up next is our. Oh, I actually took a turn with the wrong cackler, so I'm going to go back over to the Knobolas cackler first. He's going to poke back out again. He is currently standing in wine, but it doesn't really bother him, and he's going to try to attack you again, Knobolas, with the spiked chain. But before he does that, he actually says, sorry, he rolled a 12, just so you know if it hits or not. He says, and it sounds exactly like your voice, says, "Can you set that down, please?" And then he makes the sound of a plate crashing. Doesn't matter, but he did.
Okay. Okay.
It's exactly what happened in your room at the beginning with that little green dude, the Baby Yoda.
The guy.
That's what it sounds like. He mimicked the voice. So anyway, does a 12 hit?
Okay. No, it does not hit.
Okay. So then he's actually going to duck back around the corner again.
These little guys know too much. I don't like that.
All right. So Gonathan Prime is up next, and he is going to run over to the cackler. And he is going to use his maul. He's got this giant kind of big, huge maul.
Nice.
Right, 21 to hit and for 8 damage.
Ooh.
So he's kind of just blitzkrieging this guy. He blasted him in the face with air, and now he's coming over and whacking him with the maul. Didn't kill the cackler, but he's quite hurt. All right, and then he's also going to use... He has a bonus action I was going to do. I think it is probably too far away, actually. Sorry. 60 feet. No. So he's going to look around a little bit and see who's the most hurt. Probably Knobolas, but that's a little too far away. So actually, he's gonna hold tight with that. All right. Up next is the Dretch that just appeared. So he's going to attack you, Molly. He's going to make a multi-attack against you. He's going to use his bite attack against you first. Ooh, natural 1.
No, he's not.
No, he tries to bite and fails, maybe breaks a couple of teeth on your armor. And then he's going to make a claw attack against you for 13, which also does not hit. So just
Nope.
all in all, just a disappointing day for the Dretch. All right. And then this
What a dretch.
this fatty boy, he's gonna come over to you, Agnomeio, and he's going to make a claw attack against you.
Oof.
So he
Yep.
17 to hit, so for 5
That'll
damage.
hit.
And that's really it. He doesn't do a whole lot other than just kind of lash out. All right.
Just like me in my teenage years.
So up next, top of the round, a new combatant is emerging from the sigil.
Stop.
What the?
So
What is that?
the sigil on the floor burns brighter, and a being rises from the cracking floor. A 7-foot-tall Rutterkin steps out. It looks like a disfigured human, skin a grotesque green and blue, hairless and tiny red eyes. You see that this demon's body is contorting and disfiguring itself before your eyes. Its legs bulging and rupturing from within, only to seal and scar immediately. One of its arms is far longer than the other, and instead of a hand, it has a toothy mouth agape and screaming. All right.
The frick?
Oh my god.
So this guy is entering combat, and he will be the last one to go. All right, Alessio, you are up.
Bill's trying to kill us again. Here we go.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill with one of these fucking crazy. Guess what I dreamt about last night? Homebrew.
I will tell you, this guy's not homebrew, although I was pretty happy to see him. I was like, ooh, he looks fun.
Well, I'm kind of far from Mr. Creepy-nim over there, so I'm actually going to work my way around the staircase undercover here, and I'm going to go after the Red Devil up there.
Okay.
So I'm going to now, from where I am, can I short bow from here, or is there something impeding my shot?
So you would need to move down and kind of to the left in order to shoot him.
What if I moved kind of up the staircase here, or to the platform behind him?
So it's kind of like it's hard to just. Short answer is no. You would need to kind of get off the stairs in order. Like where you were before was great when he was on top of the head, but right now he's intentionally hiding from you.
Oh, he is. Okay. All right. Well,
And,
he will hide from me no more. Okay. So I'm going to move slightly right here, kind of in his zone, and use my short bow.
Okay.
Oh God.
Oh no.
I have not used Risky Whiskey yet, so I'm going to use that right now.
All right.
Cheers. Happy National Bourbon Day.
Ooh.
Cheers.
I'm gonna pour some more. Much better.
That's better.
Nice.
A 19 to hit does hit. You do 4 damage, and you pin him to the wall with your arrow. He sticks. The arrow sticks into the wood, and he is stuck with it. All
That's right.
Excellent. Cool. All right. Anything else?
When he's dead?
He is dead. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Oh.
maybe that wasn't clear.
Oh.
No, he's stuck to the wall. He's a dead boy. Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's see. So on top of that, yeah. Unfortunately, the thing that I made over there is a silent image, so it can't make a noise to distract Mr. Crazy Pants down there. So good luck, everybody.
Well, unfortunately, I would say even if he distracted him, there's other people that are closer that he'd probably attack first.
Yeah.
Yep. But who knows? We'll see what happens on his turn. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. So let me get a little something going on here. I wasn't super worried about you because you are not. Just because the dots matter. Boom. Okay. So anybody who starts their turn within there, we'll address that when the time happens. Knobolas.
Oh my God.
Well, Knobolas isn't moving anywhere.
God, it's like a damn helicopter landing pad.
It is a 30-foot radius. So.
All right. Well, before Knobolas takes his turn, he's going to echo Emily Chambers in the chat. And make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying it so far. I'm having a great time. I'm glad I'm not in this circle of helicopter death. That's what happened. But
Oh my god, it's a helicopter.
Ah, sure is. You should be playing a bard.
I love that reaction.
I really should.
All right. So before
right.
the puns get
Yes.
any worse, Knobolas is gonna look at this little like deform. You said like his skin is like molding in upon itself or something weird.
It's just
Like,
the
it's, like,
color.
really-
He's like green. Basically, his skin looks like rotten flesh.
Okay. Well, I will look up to him and say, I bet you, don't you wish your pecs look hot like mine? And I blast him with an Eldritch Blast.
Beautiful.
I was trying to think, don't you think your girlfriend is hot?
No, we got it.
no,
It was
I got
wonderful.
it.
Yeah, we were with you. Have
All right,
confidence.
let's just-
Man with pecs like that must have confidence. 18 hits, and you do 6 damage. Beautiful. Boom! You zap him. All right, so, yeah, you hit. Anything else?
I think I'm good. I definitely don't want to move.
All right. Daffy, I would like you to roll something that I'm about to remember. A wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. And we got a 14.
All right, success. So, you look at this just abomination, which is terrifying, and although everything in you tells you that you need to run away. By the way, I'm going to throw this up on screen so everybody can kind of see, because it's amazing what this guy looks like. Boom.
Oh God.
So, anyway, so you're scared of this thing, but you kind of you have some resolve, and you I can't make it go away now. Shit.
Everyone just look at it.
All right, I'll figure that out in a second. I think maybe if I go like, yeah, there we go. All right, get rid of it. Cool. Anyway, it was trying to. You were going to be afraid of it, but you were able to shrug it off. All right. I was trying to do too many things at once. So, what would you like to do with your turn?
And I suppose I can't really ask what I was doing the wisdom saving throw for.
It was to stave off being frightened of this creature.
Oh, just
Like,
being
this
frightened
thing
by
came
it.
from the depths of hell. You're looking at it. You're still inexperienced, and you're like, "Holy shit!" And it just, instead of being terrified, you use that energy to increase your resolve.
Okay.
Yeah. Turn it into bravery.
I'm wondering if it's smart then to cast protection from evil and good, because this thing seems like it can do some nasty things to me.
I'm not as familiar with that.
I know.
You're not talking
I know.
about
I
detect
can't-
evil and good, right?
So this is a different spell completely. Protection from evil and good. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain type of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. So the target can't be frightened by them. So
Well, so I'll just tell you that since you made your wisdom saving throw, you basically will not be re-frightened by this. If you were to touch somebody else who has not made that roll yet, that would help them. But you don't have to worry about it anymore.
okay, cool.
But
That clears
good
that
idea.
up. I think for now, I'm just gonna worry about doing another stabby stab to the guy in front of me.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, stabby stab away.
And we got
A 12.
a 12.
A 12 does hit, and a 7 damage.
Yay!
He is not dead, but he is
Damn it!
very close.
Is he looking a little dead?
He's very, very close to
He's
dead.
looking like he's getting there. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Anything else?
Nope.
Smite. Okay. Cackler is up next, the one hiding behind, and actually, now that it's kind of the turn has happened again, the wine is totally erupting out of this place now. There's a lot of wine in that big barrel here.
Oh, it's covering the pentagram thing. What's happening when it's hitting the pentagram? Is it like burning or like what's happening?
That's a very good question. It is sizzling, but it is not extinguishing. But very smart. I'm adjusting my line. So that was a good idea. All right. So anyway,
Quick, collect the vapor. It's brandy.
Love it. So he is going to make another spiked chain attack against you, Knobolas. Let's see how it does. Not great.
He does
11.
not. Hit.
All right, so
Does not hit.
he misses you with the spike chain, and this time he's actually going to kind of move over towards his buddy here. All right. Agnomeio, you're up.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Well, I have been forced to come to grips with this large dead baby man. So, I will attack him with my rapier. Woohoo! Okay, that wasn't great. That wasn't great. I think I better use my action surge because I am just not doing much without it. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use that for the next rest, and then I'll attack him once more.
Okay.
Come on, baby. 12.
12 hits. And
Yes!
9 damage is how many hit points he had. So he also
Woo!
explodes into a mess of guts and gore.
And here come the maggots.
Yep, the maggots are. You actually notice that as the maggots touch the flaming pentagram, they also sizzle. So despite being from hell, something's funky with this pentagram. All right, anything else?
No.
Also,
I think I've used all my stuff.
Don't forget about your bless.
Oh yeah, my bless. I forgot about the bless.
All right.
Bless.
So up next is Gonathan Prime. So he's going to, actually, let's see, he's got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet of movement. He's racing back down here. He's like, I just got up there. And then he is going to, man. All right, so who's hurt? So probably Agnomeio. He's going to use Cure Wounds on Agnomeio. So he's going to cast that at first level. So he's going to heal you for 7 hit points.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
All right. So
Well, thank you, Padre. Also, Padre, I just met your twin. You didn't tell me you had a twin.
Let's see, how far is this? At higher than 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range, which doesn't tell me what the range is. 60 feet. Okay, awesome. So he's also. Oh no, he can't because that's a bonus action. Damn it. Okay, never mind. That's the end of his turn. Sorry. Up next is the Dretch. So Dretch Boy is going to make a fetid cloud upon himself. Which. Why didn't that work?
With his gobstopper hand that he has with teeth.
No, this is the Dretch,
the ratty boy,
the dog boy.
Oh,
why isn't that working? Well, whatever, it is working. But all right, so everybody within, let's see, this is.
I see the other Dretch. There we go. Okay.
10-foot radius. So actually, only Daffy would need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Come on, Daffy, you got this.
Oh, 3.
She failed history. No more Constitution.
So that does not work. I'm trying to put a thing just so I can remember that this is. Let's do.
So every time you fail a Constitution save, do you lose a right? Like we just go down the list: 10, 9, 8.
All right. So with the fetid cloud, so when you fail, you're poisoned until the start of your next turn. So when you're poisoned this way, the target can take either an action or a bonus action on your turn, but not both. And you can't take reactions. Okay?
Ugh.
All right. So you can make that saving throw at the beginning of each one of your turns. So that was his action. All right. That was it. And now up is the new guy. All right. So.
Oh, God. There was a sigh there. I need a drink.
Well. Actually, I'm sorry, Daffy, before we move on, actually. No, I'm sorry, you were a while ago. Yeah, no, everybody else is fine. Okay, so he is going to walk over to Agnomeio, being the closest.
Hi, buddy.
And he is going to make a bite attack against you. 16?
Yep, that'll tie.
All right, so you take 10 piercing damage, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ouch.
Wait, is 10 his natural low of damage?
It is.
Holy moly.
All All right.
No, it's not. It's not the lowest he can get. Actually, he.
Okay.
I got a 14 for my con save.
Ooh, you got lucky. So you, you got real lucky. So you save. So although you got bit, you start to feel some poison, kind of maybe like something's going into your arm, but you kind of you will through it and does not take hold. All right.
Are these Evil Dead rules or Walking Dead rules? Because I need to know if I need to chop off my arm.
These are let's see, Evil Dead. I forget which one. Either way, it is not.
Actually, in both they chop off their arms. So
I was gonna say I couldn't. I'm pretty sure they both suck. So yeah, you're good at the moment. So okay. Really lucky. All right, so Alessio, you are up.
Oh God, what the hell do I do? All right, well, I need to go help my brother in Rapier, Agnomeio, and kind of get into the fray here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to move closer into the helicopter landing pad of doom.
Okay.
So I want to kind of move this way.
All right, so you're moving into the range there? Okay. That's fine. That's what you did.
I'm gonna go one step back here. so hopefully they go after Jonathan Beta instead of me.
He's a beta.
Yeah, he's a beta. I'm going to try my crossbow and hit the gobstopper hand.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay, let me use my short bow here.
All right, so a 14 does hit, and you do 9 damage. So you shoot your short bow, and you're kind of aiming. It's waving around, but you manage to hit it right in the hand, and you hear the hand itself shriek and scream.
Oh God!
Oh, that's terrifying.
Anything else?
I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna use. Can I use my bonus action, my cunning action, to hide?
You can if you say like move maybe over to here. Like you can't just hide behind nothing. But if you move a couple more spaces, I don't know how much movement you have left, but like if you want to try to hide behind the table, I'd let that happen.
Okay, yeah, I'll use that to hide. So I'm going to move over here.
Yep. Sorry, yeah, I shouldn't have helped.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, there you go.
All right, so you are hidden.
All right, perfect.
Excellent. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, Knobolas, you're up.
All right, well, I don't like that there's all these little critters running around attacking us one-on-one, so I think I'd like to focus my attention back onto the cackler.
Okay.
The one that insulted me earlier. So I would like to still stay. I wouldn't like to move. I'd like to stay where I'm at. I'd like to target him and do an Eldritch Blast to him.
Okay. Go for it. That definitely hits. Is a 24, and with 5 damage, he's about half dead.
Okay.
Yep. So good.
Which half?
The left half. Hemisphere.
Yeah, I think I'm actually good. I'm just going to end the turn here.
Okay. All right, excellent. Daffy, you are up. However, you need to make a Constitution save against the Dretch.
Yep.
No problem. All
right. 16.
So it smells disgusting. You were almost feared. You're grossed out. Everything's just miserable. But you are a warrior, and you fight with resolve. You are good. You have your turn. What would you like to do?
I want to kick this Dretch in its stupid face.
That's the Daffy I've been waiting for.
Das Boots.
Beautiful.
Das Boots.
Das Boots.
Coming back out. I am annoyed. Here we
unarmed
go.
attack. He only has 1 hit point left, so if you hit, you're good.
You got this. You got this.
Roll your unarmed attack. You know what? I'm going to give you advantage.
Advantage?
I don't
think I need it.
You don't need it. Nope. So it made a little animation. All right. So you do 5 damage to this Dretch, and he is dead. His stink does remain. So you may want to consider moving, but that's up to you.
I think after that little experience, I might back out of this helicopter circle of doom. Whatever Jason called it, we need a bunch of shorts of nicknames that Jason gives things because
I know, right?
he's got so many nicknames. So I'm just gonna chill over here.
Yes. Awesome.
That's where I'm at.
Okay. Cool. Man, there's so much going on this map. All right. Up next is the Cackler. So he is. Let's see. What does he want to do? So he's not loving his chances with Knobolas. So he's gonna run around the corner
I'm sitting
here.
there flipping him off. I'm like,
And he's gonna attack this other Gonathan here.
Yes.
He kind of ran around the corner blindsided, and he's not within range to do his spike chain, so he's actually gonna just make a bite attack against this thing. Obviously, he's going to miss because it is an illusion, but with a hit like that, he realizes immediately that it's an illusion, and he continues to move the rest of his movement through it. All right. Up next is Agnomeio.
All right. Well, I definitely want to use my Piccolo because I want to restrain this guy if I can. So I get a 16.
nice.
So
Nice.
a 16 does hit. Yep.
Yes.
So you do
All right.
8 damage, sorry, and then you're letting Spiccolo go and tying him up.
Tying him
Awesome.
up.
Does
Yeah.
that I forget? Does that require and it will restrain the target escape DC 11, so that he won't make that until his next turn. But all right, so you wrap him up in Spiccolo, and he gets injured a little bit, but he is completely restrained at the moment.
Okay, I lean in and I say to him, "You know, my friend, you are very ugly, but you should know you should feel all right about yourself because you are not the ugliest person I have ever seen. That would be your mother."
Oh! So, although he is restrained, his little wobbly hand with the arrow sticking out of it right in your face, and it screams right in your face. And your mask actually shifts just a little bit, but not too much. The little hangy balls on your hat though are like going nuts. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, that'll be it.
All right. So Gonathan, he's up now. He's actually, let's see, what does he want to do? He could do all kinds of stuff. So he's going to cast Mass Healing Word. So he gets to pick 6 targets, and which is pretty much all of you. Let's see. So Alessio. Yeah, actually, everybody, including Knobolas. Nope, Knobolas is not quite there. So everybody but Knobolas gets to have an extra 5 healing points.
Yay.
Rude.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
All right, so that was his bonus action. Now he's going to charge at the Rutterkin, and he's going to hit it with its maul. All right, scroll up. Ooh, he definitely hits. 21 to hit. He does 9 points of damage. Whoops. -9. All right, so this Rutterkin is looking quite injured. It's not doing well. It's tied up and it's getting beaten. All right, up next is the Rutterkin, actually. So I forget to have you roll something. All right, he's gonna make a DC 11 strength saving throw. You know what, Agnomeio, do me a favor. Just roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage on it because he's tied up, so he's not exactly scary. All right, you were.
I got a 12, so.
That's fine. All right. So he breaks out of Spiccolo. Spiccolo falls to the floor. It does not get any sort of like damage or anything, but it just falls to the floor. And he's going to make an attack against you, Agnomeio. A bite attack.
That makes sense.
Oh.
13.
Not even close.
Oh,
You are nothing.
excellent.
I kind of wanted the Russian Agnomeio to come out that time.
Alessio, you are
You
up.
are nothing.
Your turn, Alessio.
Oh yeah, it's Alessio time, baby.
There's only 2 enemies on the field at the moment. The Cackler and the Rotgut.
Where are you? I'm hidden. I can't see myself. Where am I?
Oh, yeah, you sure can't. Sorry. Nobody else can either. You are right here.
All right, so can I
That's funny
click
that you can't see
myself
yourself.
around? Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. So I'm gonna make you unhidden.
Okay,
there you
we go. All right, so Mr. Cacklepants over there that's thought he went after Jonathan. I'm going to move in close and use my rapier to give him the killing blow.
Beautiful.
There we go. Oh, that sucked.
Ooh, oh no. All right.
You've already whiskey too.
I know I did. That's it, man. Oh God, that's terrible.
Actually, hold on, because so you were hidden. You would have advantage on this attack.
So I can roll again?
Yep.
All right. I still suck.
You rolled a 1 and then a 2.
Not
Good job.
quite as sucky.
All right, so that does not work. Anything else?
No, I'm just gonna sit here and be embarrassed.
All right, Knobolas, you are up.
Oh, already? Okay. So you know what? There's too many weird forces around, and I still have good range on him. So I'm just gonna go ahead and Eldritch Blast our this guy right here. So
Okay.
hopefully this helps you guys out. Let's see. Oof. Does it hit or does it not hit?
It does hit. And
okay. Okay. I was on a risky whiskey that because I was ready for that.
And it's enough to kill him.
Yeah!
Wow!
So he falls down to the ground. The last thing to hit is his silly little goofy noodle hand, and it kind of makes like a as it falls.
It's not very scary.
It's not very scary because it's dead.
It basically does a Wilhelm scream.
Awesome. All right. Anything else, Knobolas?
So I'm just looking around the room, and there's still that one little cackler in the other side of the room. I just want to make sure I can see him.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
No,
Nothing
you can't
else.
see him right now.
Oh, I can't see him. Okay. You know, I'm gonna move a little bit since there's the threats have been neutralized here. So let me just move over. I'm gonna go beside Daffy.
Okay. Sure.
Just so I'm a little closer to the action. Still not in the wine or the ring of death. So.
Sure.
All right, in my turn.
Daffy, you are up.
Yeah, so this cackler I cannot see. I'm assuming I just won't be able to use my crossbow on it. Because I can't see it.
So there's Jonathan is in between you two. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're over on the side. No, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you cannot see him right now.
Yep.
But there is nothing stopping you from shooting through the other Jonathan. You would just maybe have a disadvantage because you can't actually see the enemy.
You know what? That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's gonna be like that movie where you curve the bullet.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Curve
Yeah.
the arrow.
Is it equal
All right. So I have to roll twice
No.
for disadvantage.
Well, so you'd need to move a little bit just so you can get within range.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'd have to roll twice. So 16 would hit.
What if I?
But let's see.
How about I move right about there? Is that good?
How about?
How does the wine feel beneath your feet?
Well,
Is it stinging?
It'd be
It's so tempting.
More like over here, Molly, if you'd want to do that.
Okay.
Or,
Yep. I could not see that at all, so that helps.
Okay. Sure.
All right. Am I rolling again to see if
Yeah,
that
roll one more time.
will do?
Mhm.
1 sec. Come on, something good. Does a 13 hit?
Unfortunately, it doesn't. Jonathan blocks too much of your vision, I think. And up next is the Cackler.
God damn that thick man.
So Cackler is going to make an attack against you, Alessio. He's going to bite you.
Yeah, I figured as much.
12?
Does not hit.
Does not hit. So he attempted to bite you. And he is going to try to make a break for it. So you can get an opportunity attack on him if you want to.
Absolutely.
30 more. All right, so go ahead and make an attack roll.
Wow.
And what'd you attack with? Your short bow?
Yep.
What was that?
Sorry, it was an Instagram notification saying I win.
I mean, but is it wrong? Is it
Beautiful.
wrong?
Yeah, I was about to say this might be perfect.
So
I know.
So only because he's basically he's the last enemy. So in the future, you can only really do your attack with your rapier, but I'll allow it for the short bow just because it's kind of the end of combat. So
because I feel like he was running away. I'm like, you trying to run away, bitch?
totally. No, I get where you're coming from, so I'll let it happen. So anyway, you put an arrow in his back and he falls down dead to the floor.
Yes.
All right, and you guys are out of combat.
Holy hell! Look at
You
all the dead
win.
bodies, guys.
We won.
You sure did.
Sure did.
Oh
Sure
my
did.
god, that was.
But at what
that,
cost?
That notification was hilarious.
I know that
Oh,
was.
that was perfect.
It was timed perfectly.
It really was.
So the sigil on the ground fades away,
Oh, good.
and we got some happy tavern music again.
Yeah, it's a very happy tavern, just full of dead bodies and
Yes.
rotting corpses.
And rotting
Guns and, like,
gore.
maggots and stuff.
Actually,
Yeah.
you
I like
notice.
that.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the comment in the chat that said that was Alessio screaming with glee.
I win!
I'm just gonna say this after all the descriptions that Bill has put. This room fucking stinks.
Yeah, it sure does.
But there's wine. The wine should
It's
go
like
out.
it's like dead body, burnt wine, and mushrooms.
and then this cow dog down here farted.
Yeah,
So we got that
sure
going
did. So
Holy hell.
something to note is that much like outside, you guys can actually see these bodies starting to kind of disintegrate into what looks like ash and dissipate from this plane. So the smell is still in the air, but the bodies are beginning to disappear.
Wow. Okay.
Should
So-
we?
Nope, go ahead.
I was gonna say, should we like check them for like loot or?
There's nothing wrong with that if you want to check them.
I don't know. You want to basically take a handful of maggots to place?
You know. I mean, especially from the big boy with the hand thing. I feel like if anyone's gonna have anything on it, it'd be that one.
Well, also, what if we get to the maggot dungeon and we don't have any maggots? We might need a handful.
The maggot dungeon.
Yeah, you know
You
what?
can
Knobolas
carry
wants
those
to
in your
check-
inventory if you want.
Knobolas wants to check the big hand boy and see what he's
All right,
got.
check out Gobstopper Fist.
All right. So, as you pick up parts of this creature, it's disintegrating in your hand. You're looking around. It doesn't have pockets. Doesn't have really anything to it, and unfortunately, there's just no loot to be had.
I tried, guys.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Can we investigate the floor where the burning
The sigil,
emblem
yep.
appeared? Did that leave any clues behind?
Absolutely. So easy enough. I mean, you guys. You know what? Actually, make a religion roll for me, please. Let's just see what you can figure out here.
Okay. Oh, I'm not very religious.
I'm
Knobolas,
extremely
I'll-
religious, but I don't know anything about it.
That's all right.
Oh, actually, I do. I know everything about religion.
We're all
That's
You're
that's
fucking
too,
It matters.
that's too bad, Agnomeio, because I didn't call for a roll.
Oh!
I heard my name. Were you
I
calling
said-
on
I-
me though, Bill?
Oh yes, I was asking you to. Let's see what happens.
Ah,
All right.
no, no
So
better.
you know.
Wait, hold on. I haven't risky whiskied yet.
All
Can I
right,
risky whiskey?
you can,
Let's do it.
and I have a brand new sound effect for that.
Risky whiskey.
Risky whiskey. You guys wouldn't have it. So, anyway.
All right, I'm gonna
All right,
roll
so
it.
so go ahead and re-roll.
Not much. Nope, no better. Never mind.
I mean, I don't want to just ignore Agnomeio just because I didn't call for it. So, you are getting.
No, it's okay. I'm very religious over in the corner. I'm just like, thank you, Uros.
Did
for
someone say
protecting me."
God?
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, you guys just don't know enough about the whatever plane of existence this was, other than It's hot. it's some sort of demonic plane. I mean, what
Arizona?
What else would you guys? I don't want to tell you guys too much because you don't know much at the moment. But let's figure it out later. With a 5 and a 6, not a whole lot that you
All right,
can know.
so maybe we should. Is this a good time to ask Alpha Jonathan what the hell just happened?
He looks at you. He says, "I have never seen anything like this before. This is not my area of study or expertise, and I simply don't know." But
all right, so you're useless. Thank you.
So he says, "I am going to go upstairs, however, and consecrate the body of."
Okay.
Yeah. So
I think we should go with them. I don't
Yeah,
want to.
maybe because
Clarence.
maggot people keep popping out of.
Yeah, I'd rather be up there than down here.
Sure. So just for the sake of moving things around and the fact that it's a little after 11 o'clock. So you guys go upstairs. There is no issues. Actually, oddly enough, one of you gets the idea to go look for the rune again, and it seems to be glowing quite a bit brighter, as if something's still like kind of remaining here. But nevertheless, Gonathan walks over to the body of Clarence Rowley, and he performs a couple of rituals, consecrates the body, and then picks it up and says he's going to bring it back to the temple for proper burial rites. All right. And unless there's anything else you guys would like to... Go ahead.
Well, I think it's odd that he didn't notice anything weird about the body. He just was like, just cool with it. Like, yep, it's dead. Like...
Well, so the one thing about Gonathan is that he doesn't really know much about demons. He is a cleric, but not the type of cleric that would know much about extraplanar dimensions.
Gotcha. So he doesn't detect any kind of weird like vibes coming off of this dead body or anything.
Let me see. Let's see what he rolls for religion. No, unfortunately, not much.
Okay.
He's apparently
does
pretty crappy cleric.
Yeah, I was about to say, does Gonathan have a -1 to his religion check?
Does he?
I think he does. You are the worst bastard.
For a guy with such impactful sermons, he's quite unreligious.
Well,
he's in it for the collection plate, man. You know, he's been skimming off the top.
No.
He's in it for the coffee and donuts.
Read into it what you will. So, anyway, I do want to end the game here in just a moment, but I would say that for the rest of the day, well, there's still a few more things that you guys could choose to do. So why don't we pick up here next week, and we will be leaving the Red Sun Inn. Gonathan will be leaving your group with the body, and you guys will have some of the day ahead of you, although I would say it's starting to get towards nighttime, and you may want to find a place to spend the night. So, unless there's anything else that you guys would like to do last minute?
Nope. Drink the National Bourbon Day. Don't drink the wine on the...
We should lick the rest of the wine off the floor.
I'm grabbing the beers. I know where the Snortimer Stouts in the back.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
We're just pilfering the cupboards.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to stop you?
Before we sign off,
Mhm.
Bill, bravo on the battle tonight. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you very much.
I thought we were doomed.
Very intricate.
Lots
Yeah,
of
very-
enemies.
Yeah.
You made me happy. Awesome.
Yeah, because we didn't die. That's the only reason you're happy.
Well, I
Oh.
mean, walking into the room, and then there was already enemies in there, and then all of a sudden the freaking the burning symbol on the floor that just was like a portal for more enemies. Holy crap! And then the gobstopper hand guy. I mean, what the hell?
Oh no.
Definitely needed some
kind of
cash for the knob to get through that.
Yeah,
Jeez
I mean,
Louise.
honestly, guys, for everybody watching, Bill put so much work into this just for us to keep us entertained and challenged. I don't think Bill gets enough credit. So cheers, Bill. Thanks for that, man.
Yay! Cheers,
Cheers,
Bill.
Thanks
I'm
for
gonna-
challenging us.
I'm gonna make a short of just that and rewatch it for myself. Compliments. I love them. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jason. And I'm glad you guys all had a good time. So we will join you back here next week, where we will likely, it'll be good. Just make sure you join. If you're watching this later in the week, next week will be a good one to join live. So
Bill gives the worst hints.
I do. I always want to give away more, and then I was like, "What are you doing, Bill? Stop it!" All right. Anyway,
you gotta have like
everybody.
A riddle at the end of every episode, like that has a hint or something.
Let's see. All right. So these tomatoes are walking down the street, and there's a baby tomato and a mama tomato, and any Pulp Fiction fans here? So anyway, yeah. I'm not.
Feels like I see it glistening in your eye. For next week, someone will die.
I love it.
Yeah. See, there we go.
All right. Before I give away anything else, I'm going to sign off here. So thank you everybody for joining here, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Cheers.
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 Thanks for watching.